What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with the daily crypto update. Today, we're going to be talking about Pulsechain and my validators. My validators are officially up and running. There are definitely some hiccups when it comes to kind of checking on the validators and seeing what's happening with them, but that's more just user interface stuff. I'm going to tell you guys approximately how much I'm earning with them and kind of what to expect from the future. And also, is it worth it, right? Is it worth it right now to invest in validator equipment? I'll talk about my experience with Ethereum validators and Pulsechain validators and kind of what you should really think about if you're thinking of becoming one in this live stream. We'll also talk about a few other things too. But let's go ahead and get into the details. First of all, let's take a look at the Pulsechain price. Market had a pretty interesting couple days with the SEC announcing that they're suing Coinbase and Binance and regulatory unclarity, all kinds of stuff like that. But that's sort of normal in the minds of people in crypto right now, so not too much of a massive dump right there. But we haven't seen any kind of massive jumps either. So right now Pulse is sitting at 0.000131, a lot, but it's not really pumping a lot either. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the DAI Pulse right here. I just want to look at the overall chart to see kind of how it's doing. We'll zoom out a little bit. We can see it's kind of finding its middle ground right here before it makes this next move up or down. We had a nice day yesterday at about 0.00016, so a nice increase right there. But again, these things, they always find middle grounds, right? They don't just go up forever or go down forever. So we're sort of finding that middle ground right here in Pulse. Let me make sure my chat is up and running. Yes, it is. All right, so let's talk about validators. So this is not my validator. Just for security purposes, I'm showing different validators. Sometimes I might show my own, but usually I'm going to show different ones. Approximately, I'm making about $20 a day from my 7 validators that I'm running on Pulsechain. So I'm running 7. I'm thinking about running an 8th one, but I do want to have some liquid pulse. So I run an 8th one. I don't really have any liquid pulse left available. And yeah, so that's going to give me about $20 a day. The current APR for Pulsechain, let's go to the statistics for better. It kind of is if you're thinking long term. If you're thinking just short term, then the answer is definitely no. There's way more profitable things to do in Pulsechain. I mean, this 22% APR is nice compared to most other things in crypto, but if we just go over to the earn section right here, the APRs here are way higher, about 10 times, more than 10 times higher for just staking and earning incentive rewards over here on the farms. Even though these farms are sort of borked from version 1, we don't have any version 2 farms yet, you can still make about more than 10 times as much, almost 15 times as much, compared to running a validator for just pooling your Pulse and USDC, or Pulse and DAI. So do keep that in mind. And that comes before all the equipment costs, because honestly, you really shouldn't, in my opinion, you really shouldn't be running a validator on AWS. If you're going to run a validator, you should probably own your own equipment. I don't think it's worth it to own AWS servers because you're not going to be doing it long term. And honestly, if you're thinking about going that route, I would probably look towards doing farming instead, right? If you're looking to make money from doing Pulsechain validating. Yeah, farms are more profitable at the moment, but this will not last forever. I do think the APR of these farms will decrease over time. This is sort of a short-term play for people who are in Pulsechain, in Pulse. Yeah, when these APRs decrease, I do think that the validator APR will be better if we're looking out and zooming out a year from now, provided Pulsechain survives, right, and stays around and competes with the other chains that are out there. So that's kind of my outlook with that. So how much? Let me check. I think it's, how much is $20 a day? I have to see exactly how much that is. I don't remember. I can look right now, but I don't really want to show the wallet right now. So 20. Let's go here. It's close to $20. It's a little under $20. So about 150,000 Pulse is what I'm making on a daily basis. Now, there's a couple ways that you can look at that. It's $20 a day at current prices, right? And current prices are pretty low right now. I mean, relatively pretty low right now. They could go lower for sure. But if we look at the all-time high for Pulse, which is about at about 2.9, which is, you know, a little bit more than double where we are right now. So we can sort of just double it and say that if we're looking at close to the higher end of where Pulse was before, then your validators are making you about $40 a day. So $40 a day, and 7 days a week, that's going to be about $280 a week. And, you know, 4 weeks in a month, you're looking at $1,120 in a month. So if we get back to those prices, I think that it will probably be a little bit more worth it to invest in a validator, get the equipment, and your equipment will probably be able to be paid off a little bit faster. Now, again, guys, these numbers that I'm giving you are for 7 validators. So you can go ahead and divide this number by 7 to see what the amount you're going to be making for one validator is going to be costing, or is going to earn you. You guys can do that. Pause the video and divide by 7 for any numbers that I say from here on out. So I think that's about everything. That wraps up what's going on with Pulsechain Validators. The only other thing is, hold on, let me find, where did I put that? Yeah, this is the beacon chain website for Pulse. It doesn't really work that well because I don't know if it calculates withdrawals. It counts withdrawals as like negative money. So your income, quote unquote, is completely messed up here. So if you're looking at this in terms of reference to see how much you can make in Pulse per day, this is not going to give you a very good value. But I think that is this number for the week right? This number for the week might be right for one validator. But nonetheless, the numbers that I gave you are what we're seeing right now, what I'm seeing live for my 7 validators. And again, those validators have only been up for 3 or 4 days, so they're not really a good data set, right? We need to have those validators running for like a month or 2 months to really get a good data set of what you could be earning, because things like block rewards are going to be different. If people are using the chain a lot more, you're going to get rewarded a little bit more from running validators. So those are factors that you have to keep in mind if you're thinking about running a validator and talking about how much you're going to be earning right there. Just taking a look at other things. I like to look at Daytona Finance because these APRs are even better. Like right here, your Pulse USDC APR in Daytona Finance is 384%. We're getting into some different topics now. I'm sort of jumping around. Sorry if I'm confusing you. And yeah, right here, it's about the same amount. So looks like Daytona Finance is sort of leveled out in terms of the APR. Zen's APR is a little bit higher here. Right, I'm just, these are the things that I look at just to think about, what you can do with Pulsechain. How can you earn with it instead of just keeping it steady in your wallet? So, yes, that's nice to see right there. Like I said before, the APR for this is definitely decreasing. So, yeah, it's something to keep in mind. Pulsechain is sort of keeping up. Let's go here and take a look. Yeah, the 24-hour volume for Pulsechain has decreased. I want to see if we can go into the info here. Liquidity, the volume is sort of trickling down right now. So, of course, I mentioned this before, you always have your initial hype phase, right? And that was what we had in the first kind of couple weeks of running Pulsechain. We had our initial hype phase, and now we have kind of our back down to earth realistic phase right here in terms of volume. So I'm not sure if we're there yet, but we're looking at numbers like about $58 million, $72 million, maybe close to the $40-50 million of volume. And that sounds about average of where we are in terms of daily active volume. And that's still pretty good when you're comparing it to other chains. Obviously, I mean, it would be silly to think that Pulsechain would be the competitor to BSC from the get-go, right? And it's going to take time and liquidity and eyeballs and users before we can really become a long-term competitor to your big dogs like your BSC and Ethereum. But I mean, it is a testament to say that it was competing with it for the first couple days that it was launched. So that's nice. So the real kind of test to see what's going on with Pulsechain is, can it keep this volume up, right? We all sort of knew that this hype phase was going to happen, and we want to kind of figure out where the bottom of the hype phase is, and kind of how it's going to perform without the hype. That's the most interesting thing about, I think, to look forward to with Pulsechain. Let's look at the other volumes. Yeah, Polygon is sitting at $116 million of 24-hour volume. Arbitrum is sitting at $379 million. BSC is sitting at about the same amount, and Ethereum is sitting at a crazy amount right there. So yeah, it's about to be passed by Optimism, maybe even Aptos and Avalanche. It's sitting down there with kind of the secondary layer 2 chains right here. So yeah, it'll be an interesting couple months to see if Pulsechain gathers what I told you guys before. The main things that it needs is daily active users, volume, and dApps, right? Development, right? If they have those three things, they're going to be successful. If they don't continue to have those things, then they're going to have a tough time. Let's mute these notifications. Pulse X and Health. Do we need to work after being a Pulse validator? Is there any responsibility or daily work to do for the rewards? So I have, like I said, I have experience for both validating in Pulsechain and in Ethereum. And for Ethereum, it's a little bit easier since they have a pretty huge community over there in Ethereum, and a pretty huge user base and support for people being validators. Ethereum has made it extremely easy for anyone to be a validator. And when I run my validator on Ethereum, I only have to do maintenance or like kind of check and see what's going on with it, or if it's performing weirdly, maybe once every, I'd say 4 months, right? Other than that, I just set it and forget it. I really don't do anything with the validator. And the only problems that I really have is that my internet cuts out every now and then, but that's not really a problem because once the internet turns back on, everything's fixed. And for Pulsechain validating, it's a little bit slightly more complicated just because they don't have the same tools as Ethereum. So once you do get it set up, it is mostly set it and forget it. You won't have to do anything. All you really have to do, and this is what I do with my Ethereum validators too, all you really have to do on a daily basis is check to see, is it still working, right? Because the last thing you want is to set it and forget it and then wait 4 weeks and realize that it turned off 4 weeks ago. So yeah, that's really the only maintenance that you have to do, is just check it every single day to make sure it's still running. 9 times out of 10, it will still be running. And like I said, once every 3 or 4 months, if it has a problem, that's where you got to kind of dig up some details about what to do. And that's my only kind of concern for Pulsechain is it might be harder to find like support since the community is a lot smaller than Ethereum for running a validator. But there's a lot of people out there that have Discords and stuff that will help you out if you do run into a rare problem. A lot of times the problem can easily be solved by just resetting your validator, right? And worst case scenario, if you can't solve your problem and like it's off for like 2 or 3 days, you can probably just exit, right? And you won't get slashed that hard if you just leave, stop validating, and then figure it out before you start validating again. So yeah, that's my answer to that. As far as maintenance goes, maintenance it's pretty easy when running these validators. A little bit more difficult if you don't have a community to support you, because I'm not a tech whiz, right? I don't know how to code or do anything like that, but I mean, I know how to follow directions on a computer. If you can follow the directions that people give you on a computer, that's pretty much all you need to do if you run into any problems. How much risk capital is it going to take for $20 daily? It takes 7 validators, so quite a lot of risk capital. I mean, for me, it's not really risk capital because I sacrificed that amount a long time ago. It just depends on if you're buying Pulse to make a validator, then how much is 7 validators? It's quite a bit. I mean, it's cheap right now, but the way that I'm looking at it is, I'm not really, like, $20 a day is small potatoes, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to, like, if we hit all-time highs, $40 a day would be really, really nice. And if we go higher than that, you know, maybe $60 a day would be kind of what I'm looking for the validator. But let's see. Exchange. Yeah, so it costs 32 million Pulse to run one validator. So let me give you the numbers for one. So if I'm making $20 a day and I divide that by 7, one validator is making about $2.08 per day. This is where you're going to see it's kind of small potatoes right here. So $2.08 per day. One validator costs $4,190 right now. Right, so that's how much you're making on a daily basis with about close to about a $4,000 upfront cost, maybe $5,000 if you're counting buying all of the equipment. So with one validator, it's $2.8 a day. Multiply that by 7, you're making about wait, hold on. Yeah, so with one validator, you're going to be making $20 a week. $20 a week. And with one validator, you're going to be making $80 a month. Yeah, so that's at current prices, though. So you have to keep that in mind. It's kind of a double-edged sword. So you might be looking at that and saying, "Man, that's like not that much. I don't want to do that." But you have to keep this in mind. If you run one validator right now, it costs $4,100. If the price of Pulse goes up 1.5x, it's going to cost, let's see, $4,160 times 1.5. Let's say 2.5x, $4,160 times 2.5. Then you're looking at one validator's costs you $10,000, and that's where things add up. It's the same case with Ethereum. When Ethereum was really, really cheap, you could get a lot of validators for extra cheap, right? And set them up, run them, and you're good. You didn't really get that much APR, but now that Ethereum's price went up, it's netting a lot as a return. So that's the mindset that you have to have before you run a validator. If you don't have that mindset, then like I said, you're better off, and it's way easier even to just farm, right? Go to the farm, and you're going to make a lot more from farming. Even in the short term, like if you want to save up for a validator, you're going to make a lot more farming in the short term. It's just that you're getting it priced out if the price moons too hard, too fast. So yeah, that's my answer to that question right there. 20 is 20. Yeah. Yeah, it's $20. 20 bucks a day for for 7 validators, $20 a week for one validator. Yes. Let's take a look at I wanted to see. I don't want to be on here that long. I have things to do tonight. I always say that, and I always stay on for like an hour and a half. Let's see what else is happening on Pulsechain. I heard a lot of rumblings about Pepe on Pulsechain doing well. So Pepe's up about 4%. Dogecoin's up. Dogecoin Pulse is up 40%. So it's nice to see that we're sort of finding a nice middle ground for Pulsechain coins. That's another thing I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Pulsechain getting a set of solid altcoins on it, right? Not just like garbage ones that people created on the first day, but like solid altcoins. So I keep looking back here to find something. I mean, something besides Pulse, PulseX, Hex, Incentive, Ethereum, DAI. Right now, we're sort of in the phase where the best altcoins in Pulsechain are Beam coins, right? Pepe, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. And then you guys, let me hear more meme coins right here, up 17,000%. This Harry Potter coin. Yeah. It takes time. Honestly, I don't know when, like, tell me in the chat, when did you guys start crypto? Because right now, I started crypto a while ago, so I'm used to this, but right now, it's like the test of patience right now. Crypto has been a test of patience for the past, like, 2-3 years. There's not really been any massive gains since 2021. So, if you're holding out, I think if you're patient enough, things should work out eventually. But yeah, it's been a test of patience. It's also been boring as well in crypto, just in most areas. Pulse is exciting, but I mean, all these exciting things, they're like exciting for like 2 weeks and then it's boring again. Back when I started in crypto in 2016, 2017, 2018, there was always something exciting happening, and it would last for many months. Now, not so much. But I do believe that people who are hanging out and kind of grinding right now, they're going to be the ones that come out on top. Like, you're going to be set if you're grinding the crypto space right now in these uncertain times. It's Pepe. Pepe's at 14%. I think Pepe might be cooked. That's some other statistics we can take a look at. I don't care about blocks. The number of validators seems to be increasing a little bit. We kind of actually hit a top. So this 22% APR, if you do decide to run a validator, your 22% APR will probably stay that for a while, as long as we don't have a huge amount of like validators come into the system. That's what kills the APR quickly. Also, the price going down kills the APR quickly. Actually, no, it doesn't. Price doesn't matter. Or does it? I don't remember. I think the APR is calculated in pulse tokens, not in dollars. Let's see. Yeah, so that about covers it. That's all I really wanted to talk about today, was just the validator. Let you guys know that it was running. I'll keep giving you guys updates on that over time. I know that that's a topic that a lot of people, most other like YouTubers, don't want to talk about it because they don't want to run their own validators. And yeah, there's just more profitable things to do if you're doing other stuff. Let's see. I always like to take a look at ordinals before I leave, because that's the other thing that I've been looking at. I gotta make an ordinal video, right? I haven't made my ordinals video in a while. Also, I know someone just left me a comment on Patreon. I'm not sure if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay. I'm going to be sending you that Discord link in a second. Just be aware that I'm not really doing anything with Discord. I'm still too busy with work until next week. Next week I'm done working for a couple months. Let's see. Yeah, ordinals are taking a pullback too. Man, these things got oversaturated real quick. I kind of expected this. You had a lot of opportunists jump in on BRC20 tokens and ordinals, and now it's kind of crappy buying into here, trying to find the right ordinal to get. They're all pretty much crashing immediately now because there's too many. So that's why I've sort of stayed out of the ordinal game for a little bit. Jumped in the Pulsechain gang. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this quick little video. I just wanted to do a quick update on validators. If you guys have any questions, catch me on my next live stream or leave some comments on my YouTube channel. I'll respond to them there. I'm going to finish editing my travel video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know. You can also comment on this video to see anything else. I think let's see if we can read some of those comments. Let's see. Some people left some comments on the last video I want to address. Let's see, this guy says, Fomo, all the main dexes outperform the native gas token initially. Look at BOO, Joe, Quick Cake, long term for sure for Pulse. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about this the other day. I was talking about the fact that I'm more bullish on Pulse than Pulse X because other exchanges can come out and kind of add that fee or take away that fee. Now, there's a couple things that have changed since then. They've launched their version 2, which sort of addresses the problem that was there before, so that's one thing. The other thing is, like, if another big exchange comes on here, like Uniswap or SushiSwap, and they say, all right, let's add Pulsechain, that might be another supporting case for what I was talking about in terms of PulseX not doing as well as Pulse. Yeah, so I think my point still stands. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not saying, now keep in mind, I'm not saying sell your PulseX or PulseX is doomed, because PulseX, it's going to take a long time for them to sort of decouple, right? If they do end up decoupling. Explain DRC20, bro. It's the next trend in crypto. I don't know, man. I think BRC20, if BRC20 tokens don't survive, I don't know if DRC20 tokens are going to do well. The difference between those two, if you guys are unaware, BRC20 tokens are like Bitcoin tokens on Bitcoin. DRC20 tokens are tokens on Dogecoin, the Doge chain. You can look it up if you're really interested. I think you underestimate Richard Hart. I think I read the rest of these. Buttertown Conglomerate says, nice take, bro. I think that address with no exceptions is going to make all the boats float. Yeah, the point that I made also about PulseX is it's still really early, so there's still a lot that has to happen. We still need single staking pools. We still need lots of volume. We still need lots of development. So yeah, we're still only like week 3, week 4. So we'll see what happens if Pulsechain stands the test of time. Post your travel thing here. I can send you my travel video that I'm making. It's not done yet. I'm gonna finish it tonight, so I'm almost done with it. But I can put the channel in. Maybe if you guys care about the channel, here it is. I think someone commented on my channel and said that they were in like a place that I visited. If you want to look at King of Fomo's travels, this is what I was doing for the past year. I stopped traveling a year ago though, so I'm not doing this anymore, but post that in the chat for you. You can watch it in your free time. All right. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done here. I might be back, probably not later tonight, but I'm gonna have a lot more time to make videos next week. I promise. More videos, more Discord stuff, more sleuthing and digging up stuff. So look forward to that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.